For immediate release. Government silence, church attacks, abduction discrepancies, and state failure. A damning indictment of Nigeria's counter-terrorism claims. February 2, 2026. The Middle Belt Coalition Against Violent Occupation, MBCAVO, expresses deep alarm and unequivocal condemnation over the Nigerian government's continued failure to protect citizens, rescue abducted worshippers, and halt the targeted destruction of Christian communities, churches, and livelihoods across the Middle Belt. Recent attacks, including the burning and desecration of churches in Agwara local government area of Niger State, mass abductions of worshippers in Kajuru, Kaduna State, and repeated assaults on rural communities expose a dangerous and consistent pattern. Terrorists act with confidence and coordination, while the state responds with silence, contradictions, and inertia. We ask plainly and without fear. Where is the sincerity of the Nigerian government in its proclaimed fight against terrorism? Churches under attack, worshippers abducted. The attacks on churches in Agwara LGA on February 1, 2026, represent not just criminal violence, but a direct assault on freedom of worship and communal identity. Places meant for prayer and refuge have become hunting grounds for terrorists, while perpetrators operate without consequence. Even more troubling are the unresolved discrepancies surrounding the Kajuru mass abduction. Conflicting figures, unclear timelines, and the absence of transparent official briefings have left families confused, traumatized, and abandoned. Till today, Nigerians have not been given a clear, verifiable account of how many worshippers were abducted, how many, if any, were rescued, where responsibility lies for delays and failures. This lack of transparency deepens mistrust and emboldens terrorists. Silence is not governance. While churches burn and citizens are dragged from their homes and sanctuaries, official responses remain muted or completely absent. A government that claims control cannot look away while sacred spaces are destroyed and entire communities are terrorized. More disturbing is the moral contradiction now confronting Nigerians. At a time when families are selling land, livestock, and lifelong possessions to raise ransom money because the state has failed to rescue their loved ones, the same government is imposing new and heavier taxes on citizens who are already traumatized, displaced, and impoverished. This is indefensible. A government that has failed in its most basic constitutional duty, the protection of lives and property, has no moral authority to tax citizens under siege. We state clearly, citizens must not be forced to self-fund their survival while the state abdicates responsibility. Victims of terrorism must not be economically punished for government failure. Churches and religious communities must not be left defenseless while attackers roam freely. Silence in the face of terror is not neutrality, it is complicity by omission. Security is not a favor. It is a constitutional right. Governance is not measured by speeches, foreign trips, press statement, or economic slogans while blood is spilled at home. It is measured by how swiftly and decisively a state protects its most vulnerable citizens. Our demands. The Middle Belt Coalition Against Violent Occupation therefore demands 1. Immediate, transparent, and verifiable rescue operations for all abducted persons, including a full public account of the Kajuru abductions and outcomes. 2. Public condemnation and decisive action against attacks on churches, including the Agwara church attacks, with arrests and prosecutions. 3. An end to ransom-driven survival, through firm state-led rescue operations and prosecution of terrorists, sponsors, and informants. 4. Immediate suspension of all new taxes and levies on citizens until security of lives and property is restored. Nigerians cannot be taxed while they are unsafe. 5. Relief, compensation, and trauma support for communities devastated by terrorism. 6. Full public disclosure of counterterrorism actions taken in affected areas, beyond recycled assurances and empty statements. Nigeria cannot continue on this path of blood, silence, and denial. The Middle Belt will not accept erasure. The victims will not be forgotten. And the truth will not be buried. Security is our constitutional right.
Share this video. Thank you and God bless you. One love.